Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Sunday Live. The playoffs, the eve of the fantasy football playoffs are upon us. Big decisions to be made. I get it. I totally understand. I'm playing for some bye weeks in a couple spots myself. The winning in, I understand. The stakes are very, very heavy this week, so we're going to do our best to walk through everything. But thank you so much for joining me on this fine Sunday morning, afternoon, evening. I don't know where you're located, but if you're watching me, thank you so much. I'm here with my best friend, Al Borland.
What's up, Foot Clan?
How are you doing today?
I'm good, best friend. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I was doing great, and then the countdown hits. I'm like, oh man, this is.
Speaking of the countdown and the intro music, Ryan wants to know who's the whole band that's playing with you on that intro song.
Oh man, that's a one-man band. If you've ever seen Mary Poppins and Bert, you know, in the beginning when he's like running around like a crazy person playing all these instruments, that's me. So yeah, that. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if that was. Maybe he's like because it sucks. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But
that song slaps.
But yeah, all the music was me. Thank you. But let's get right into. Hold on one second here. Let's get into the news.
The big picture.
All righty, Jane Daniels. You know what? Like these guys, they're tougher. These guys are just tougher than all of us. If I had the injury that Jaden Daniels had, I would opt out of everything in my life for months. It was like, hey, Dad, can you do this thing? No. Did you see that injury I had? I can't do that. And he's going to play football.
We'll be talking about him a bit later.
Oh, yeah. I bet we will. Justin Herbert is listed as questionable. Also very tough playing with the he had surgery on some sort of fracture in his non-throwing hand. He's listed as questionable. It's Monday night. Protect yourself or be ready to protect yourself. Honestly, when it comes to like streaming quarterbacks, it could go far worse than Trey Lance. I know it's Philly, but should that problem arise, honestly, like if I had Herbert and I didn't have like a superstar crazy other option on my bench, I'd just be rolling forward and like I'm going to play Herbert, and then if I had to pick up Trey Lance, I would do that. Their running back, Omarion Hampton, their first-round pick, he is expected to play. What will the snap share and the work and the opportunities, how will that divvy up between him and Kamani Vidal-Sassoon? We don't have a strong read into what's going on. I would imagine that Hampton will be back to the majority of it. Is Vidal playable? It's a pretty tough situation. Jalen Carter will be out for the Eagles, so that is a bonus if you're a running back for the Chargers. But Vidal would be a pretty desperation type of a play. Wide receivers, Drake London remains out. Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan for the Tampa Bay Bucks. We're still not there yet. They're not going to play. Roma Dunze is out. If you were not following it, it was kind of this weird, he's missing practice. And I don't know if it was a confirmation or not, but stress fracture is being thrown out about Rome. That would be that's a bummer. Like, that could be the end of the fantasy season for Rome, TBD. I'm not, like, dropping him or making any rash moves right now, just making people aware of the situation. Parker Washington of the Jags will be out. I'm going to talk about weather. Meteorologist Mike back on the case in just a moment. Josh Palmer is out. Marv and Greg Dortch are both out for the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett does remain the quarterback because Kyler Murray will not be returning. That's good news. I mean, I don't want a man to be hurt, but Jacoby's been giving us some pretty fantasy goodness here. Trey McBride, Michael Wilson, Jerry Rice. Will he go Super Saiyan again? Does he get 15 or whatever targets? TBD. Chris Olave will play with that back issue. The Packers, Jaden Reed is expected to play. Now, it's expected to be soups dupes cold in Green Bay. I don't know what people are doing. I don't why we're you know, like we like room temperature. There's a thing called room temperature in our lives, and we all know what it is because it's room temperature. I'm comfortable, and the Packers are like, yeah, man. But what if like you were really, really uncomfortable, and then you play a game where 300-pound men run into each other as hard and as fast as they can? I don't know. Whatever. That's your guys' problem. Matthew Golden is questionable, and Dalton Kincaid of the Buffalo Bills is going to go. That's part of the weather games that I got to talk about. I got to make a weather drop. Like, meteorologist Mike. I don't know why I went with that voice. That's my voice to make fun of other people, and I'm making fun of myself. All right. In Florida, they're with my trusted sources, shout out Kevin Roth. Yeah, there we go. The latest in weather and from Florida. There could be some rain in Tampa Bay. Okay, that's good. Tampa Bay, because, look, Jacksonville, that was the one that was under heavy watch. Reports of pouring before the game as of 3 or 4 hours ago. This report I'm reading, it says the heaviest of the rain could hold just north of the stadium. Either way, expect a sloshy game at best and a horrific downpour at worst. Tampa Bay should see some rain a little bit as well. In terms of it affecting Jacksonville, if it's pouring, that's bad. A little bit rain, we can overcome these things. But a lot of rain into a soggy field. Check that one. I won't have reports right up to the moment, but do your best, man. Yeah, like I said, Kevin Roth. Find other sources on Twitter. You got to find some boots on the ground for this, because that one could be a bad situation. And you got a lot of really, really fantasy relevant players there. With Parker out, it was like, could Brian Thomas get something going in this game? The conditions, I'm not exactly sure yet. We have 2 snow games. Tennessee at Cleveland. Now, Cleveland does have a heated field, and it's not a ton of snow. So I'm seeing winds around 10 miles an hour. The temperature is really the bigger problem. That amount of snow with the heated field, that shouldn't be an issue. But the temperatures, we said on the show how it doesn't affect it a ton. But when you start getting into freezing stuff, man, that's tough. But also, great news. Don't play people from Tennessee the Cleveland game. Look, Judkins, yeah. I think that's it. I honestly think that's it. The over-under on that game is a staggering, mind-melting 33.5. What? What? 33.5? Goodness gracious. And weather? I think that's Judkins and log out, my man. Now, the Cincinnati-Buffalo game, it is also going to be snowing up there as well. The winds are light, and I don't believe they have the heated field, so the snow could stick on the ground. Sick on the ground. Let's see, maybe an inch of snow. What we can say about it is the over-under is at 54.5. It opened lower than that. It has not moved down. I'm playing this game like I'm still excited for it. The weather might become a problem, but just my experience playing fantasy football, these teams, these defenses, I think there is a chance that the weather works in our favor for fantasy football and makes playing defense harder. And with these 2 elite quarterbacks, T. Higgins is back for Joe Burrow. I don't know. I'm still playing all those guys. I'm not bailing out. I'm going for it if I have them. Then we have the Chicago-Green Bay game, which is just it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold, which I don't know that it's really changing how I'm going to play any of those guys. But if you have, some close competition, some close decisions that you're making, I understand leaning away from that game. We're going to jump into who's hot. Oh, man. From cold.
Real quick, while we're talking Green Bay.
Yeah.
Because this name didn't probably have time to catch up in our popular start-sit questions.
Okay.
Give just an outlook on what you're doing with Jaden Reed. Are you starting him in any situations?
I am not. I mean, there's fantasy football is just a gray amorphous blob. That's where you have to live. It can be uncomfortable. I would love for things to be easy, 0s and 1s, but that's not how the game is played. That's not how the outcomes go. If I have Jaden Reed, I need to see that he's ready to go. I mean, he was just a part-time player. Like in terms of formations, he's the wide receiver 3. Dobbs is their guy. Christian Watson is their guy. Then Dobbs is just a go-to target. Does Dontavian Wick's performance last week get him more snaps? I'm not comfortable starting Jaden Reed. I'd like him on my bench just to see what happens, but I'm not playing him right now, personally. But speaking of that, thefantasyfootballers.com. That's the hub. That's where everything is. Our free rankings. We got a free start sit tool up there. We give you a bunch of different variables should you want to know about player X or player Y. And we're trying to help you make the best decision that you can make for your fantasy football teams. Because like I said, it's a gray amorphous blob where rankings, there are situations where you got to know what's going on, where I may have a player ranked a couple spots below someone else, but because of the game environment, I actually might want to play that guy because I want to go for some upside, or this is a situation where it's safer. These are the things that the totality of the show, the podcast, all the tools, we're hoping to put it all together to help you form the best picture that you can form. So, Jeremy, is the computer loaded with its information? It's got it. Here we go.
He's so hot right now.
All right. I did tell you no Lamar Jackson questions.
I honored that.
Okay. Here's the honest truth for me with Lamar Jackson. The guys I am playing ahead of Lamar, Josh Allen. If you have Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, I mean, I don't know what you're doing. You should have traded one of those guys a while ago. Stafford, Hurts, Burrow, Jacoby, Baker probably, and Mahomes probably. Mahomes has Houston, which they still have not allowed a top 12 performance. And then I think where you're like, what do I do here? So, it's Bo Nix and Jacoby. Those are the two guys where it's very difficult for me to answer. Would I start them over Lamar Jackson? I do believe the answer is yes for Jacoby. I don't like that Marv is out. And Dortch. I mean, he's not really on the fantasy radar, but he does help the offense. He's good at what he does. Bo Nix, he's his own thing, man. Sometimes he shows up and balls out. Sometimes he narrowly squeaks out of wins against teams like Las Vegas. So that is my official stance on Lamar Jackson.
No Jaden Daniels in that mix at all?
No, I don't think so. I don't. Minnesota's just such a good defense and the first game back, I guess he does have Terry. That one's highly questionable. I'll put that in the highly questionable, where I don't. Ask me in 5 minutes. You might get a different answer. You know what I mean? Where it's just going to flip back and forth. All right, but who else is really hot right now?
All right, we're actually going to just start at the quarterback position since we are there. Are you starting Jaden Daniels or Daniel Jones? Battle of the Daniels.
That one I would go Jaden. It gets me out of the potential weather situation in Jacksonville. Man, that weather is really a bummer because that Colts-Jags game was going to be very, very exciting. Like, Trevor Lawrence was Jason's stream. He was my start because finding starts of the week this week is weird, man. Like, it's really haves and have-nots. Have-nots? Close enough. And I think this is going to be a weird week, a really, really weird week of people who have the riches and people who do not. But no, I'd go ahead and play Jaden Daniels over him.
All right. What about Jaden Daniels or Jordan Love?
They are 2 spots apart in my rankings. Jaden, I'll probably actually boost him up. And, man, if I had them both, dude, that's so wild. That is a really, really difficult situation and question. I think if I have them both, I'm going to play Jordan Love. If I have them both. But I don't That's not like I feel super cozy sitting in that situation.
All righty. And you may have already answered this one, but Baker Mayfield or Jacoby Brissett?
I have Jacoby one spot higher. That one, the Jacoby stuff is weird because it's the Rams. One of the best defenses in the league. Divisional game, weird stuff happens in these, even when you have a team as bad as the Cardinals and as great as the Rams are. Weird stuff just happens. See Denver versus Raiders, from a couple weeks ago. I would stay with Jacoby, though. The dude's throwing for, almost 300 yards every single game. He's just finding a way to give us production while still losing the game. So I think I would go Jacoby.
All right.
And that could, once Evans and everyone's back for Baker should be set up for a really strong close of the year.
All right, we're going to circle back to the wide receiver position, and I want you to rank these three big-name, low-confidence plays this week.
All right.
Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, Brian Thomas Jr.
All right. Jefferson, DK, Brian Thomas, that was the...
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you heard, everyone, but Pittsburgh, Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdez-Scantling could see a lot of snaps today. It's 2025, man. How does this happen? How does this happen to teams? It's so weird. Remember when you had George Pickens? I know he took the week off, but
the same things happened to my fantasy team plenty of times.
Yeah. You're just like, what's happening here? I don't even know who I'm starting anymore. I would play Jefferson over all of them. J.J. McCarthy, please get it together. Like Minnesota, they're still implied at a 21, implied for 21 points. They're at a 43.5 point over under. The divisionality, I don't know if that's a word, but it is now, of Pittsburgh and the Baltimore Ravens that's a scary place to be if you are on, honestly, either side. These teams, the Steelers play very tough against the Baltimore Ravens, having seen them so many times historically. And this is not the tale of, divisional game. Lamar just whoops these dudes every single time. So I would play Jefferson at the top. Then I'm going to go DK Metcalf, who I don't know, man. Maybe somehow MVS actually opens some things up for DK Metcalf. That's not an impossibility. And the same for Adam Thielen, who I love to poke fun at, but Adam Thielen was a great wide receiver. I don't know if he has much left in the tank. The Steelers do. They think he's got more left than, they're not going to keep playing Roman Wilson, I guess. Who was just a second-round pick, I believe, 2 years ago or a year ago. But that's how I would go. I'm going to Jefferson, DK, and then Brian Thomas, just because my confidence on him is shaky at best, and then you throw in the rain variable, and I would like to get out.
All right, let's go a little deeper at the wide receiver position. Are you starting Adonai Mitchell or Luther Burden?
Okay, I'm going Adonai Mitchell there. I get it because Rome is out, right? So theoretically, Luther Burden and co. should see a higher percentage of the targets because when the guy at the top falls off, someone has to fill in that gap. Mr. Loveland should see a healthy share of targets in this game. They got to get him going. He, in my humble opinion of a middle-aged man who lives at home with his parents in the basement, Colston Loveland is the dude. Colston Loveland is that dude, and they need to. Ben Johnson, you gotta get this going. You move him to the top of the target order, Travis Kelce style. But Adonai Mitchell is seeing just such an outrageous amount of the targets, where Luther Burden is still has been a bit player to this point. And I'm not going to say this is it. Luther Burden, in the freezing temperatures, he's going to have the breakout game because Rome is out. I would love that. I think that Luther Burden is probably the second most talented pass catcher. I know that's going to offend some people. The people, they love Rome. I think that Luther Burden's, but his ceiling is extremely high for what Ben Johnson does in that offense. But who am I ranking, Burden or who? Oh, I play Adonai Mitchell. I know it's Taylor, but I'm going to take that the target share is outrageous. It's outrageous. And Taylor, historically, he can support at least one fantasy player per game.
All right, last wide receiver question here. Christian Watson or T. Higgins?
I'm going T. Higgins there. It was concussion, so it's not leg related. We don't, we're always scared of leg injuries on the way back. A brain injury, not discounting the severity and how detrimental a concussion can be, but just saying physically he should be back to playing. And I want in. You got to make your choice about how you feel about the snow game. I'm letting, the history, I'm letting the wise guys of that over-under being pushed up in that Cincinnati Buffalo Bills game. I want in on that action, so give me T.
All righty. At the running back position, I'm going to give you another 3-pack. They're big names that are all being asked about.
All right.
Devin Neal, Kyle Monangai, Omarion Hampton.
Wow. I can't give you full confidence in a real true order. Monangai had some injury stuff this week. Hampton gets the Eagles. No Jalen Carter. Again, remember. Man, I like Devin Neal. I think it's Devin Neal. That's how my rankings have it right now, and I do think that's who it is. Tampa Bay. While the name invokes fear for us fantasy players with running backs, it hasn't been that way over the last month or so. And Tyler Shuck is playing competent enough that I think that's the way I would go. I would take the known volume. Monangai, it's weird because last week they just manhandled the Philadelphia Eagles. Did they discover something, where there could be an actual regime change here where it's not like it's Caleb, just you hang out, man, and we'll call upon you when we need you, but we're going to let DeAndre Swift and Monangai in this offensive line go crazy. But, I mean, the previous weeks before that, even when there's some touchdowns here and there, Monangai's not getting high volume, and I want to chase some more volume. I don't know what Hampton's is going to be at, so I'm going to go with Devin Neal. That feels wild to say, but I'm going to go Neal.
All right. Since you went with Neal there, I'm going to ask Devin Neal or Woody Marks?
They are back-to-back in the rankings, and I would rather – if I'm on the road, I'd rather be on the road against Tampa Bay right now and not against Kansas City. So I'm going to go Devin Neal there.
All righty. We're going to do a couple tight ends, and then we'll get to the people. Darren Waller or Rondé Gadsden?
That is interesting. I'm going to go with Darren Waller. I'm going to take on the Jets. Gadsden, again, even with Carter out, that offensive line is still in shambles, and you might need to call upon some more blockers out there. That's kind of been the problem for Gadsden. So and Waller, while the snaps are not, outrageously high, let me pull this up real quick. So Darren Waller last week, if you look at it, you're like, oh, he was in on 47% of the snaps. He was in on the majority of dropbacks, though. So it's like they're just saying they're doing what we want of, I don't want my tight end to block. I want him to go out there and catch passes. It was disgusting. With 47 yards last week, he led the team in receiving yards. I think we're going to be on the way back here that Waller will be pretty useful, so I'm going to go with him.
All right, sticking on Waller, are you starting him or Colston Loveland?
Ooh, Mr. Loveland. I think that is Waller. Like my projection for Mr. Loveland, that's my personal belief, and I think that he would succeed if he was given those opportunities. I mean, naturally he should see a few more with Rome being out. But I'm going to go with Waller. I'm going to take Waller against the Jets.
All right, and last one here, Harold Fannin Jr. or Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews. I don't want anything to do with that Tennessee game. Get me out of there. Oh, and I know we're up against the clock. I'm gonna take this thing over for a good bit, so I'll answer your questions.
Stardom, set 'em.
For the boys, Miller Lite or Coors? I just like that the question is for the boys. The answer is neither. Neither. Thank you. Let's see. We got. Ty French says Hampton or Genty. I'll take the known volume of Genty. It might be as early as next week that we're saying you're going to play Hampton over Genty, but for this week, just with all the unknown variables, I'll take the guy who I know is going to get the ball, even though it's against the Denver Broncos. like Mr. Relish Jacob? I don't know. Herbert or Daniel Jones? Even with the oh man, would I really do it? I think I will. I'm going to go Justin Herbert in that situation. Though the weather of the Jacksonville Indy game, again, I'm not there right now. I can't. I don't know what's going on. Is it pouring right now? It could be.
So even with Justin Herbert being questionable Monday night?
Yeah, and then like I said, if the poop hits the fan on Monday night and they're like, Justin Herbert just can't go, you know I'm playing Trey Lance. I mean, come on. He's here to save the day. Maybe. Let's see. Cody wants to know Dalton Kincaid or Darren Waller. That one is sketchy, but I would play Dalton Kincaid. It's look, if you're going to play Dalton Kincaid this week, terms and conditions apply. You have to understand what the situation is with his injury, but he's the like when you're like, hey, the Bills' offense kind of seems like it's in a funk. Yeah, because Dalton Kincaid is so important to what they do. And like I said, I want pieces of that over-under. Let's see. Here we got Nicholas says, Kyron or Hampton? Nah, we're not that far down on Kyron. I know that the reports, they want to use Corum and save Kyron. Kyron's still going to get a whole bunch of work. When they say things like that, they just mean he's not going to get 90 to 95% of the carries. We got another guy who's capable. We're going to give him some of the work. But Kyron is the dude. All right. Find another good question. So, Amy A. Mitchell, Genty or Brian Thomas Jr.? Again, I don't know what's going on with the weather right now, but I would probably just play Genty and avoid it. We got, let's see. Oh, yeah, here, disgusting. Ross, Bam Knight, or Woody Marks? Blah, blarf. I would be playing, oh my gosh, the Chiefs or the Rams? I guess I'm going Bam Knight because I have more confidence in the Arizona offense to give Bam Knight an opportunity to score a touchdown today. Thank you. We got, let's see, DeCouncil Daniels. So Jane Daniels or Brissett. I would play Jane Daniels. I would just those fires are so hot for Jacoby Brissett. Very difficult to step out of them at the moment. Phantom Purgatory says Adonai Mitchell or Jaden Reed. That is a guy I would play over Jaden Reed. I'm going to let when you make a decision, honestly, we do talk about the emotional part of fantasy football, and you know the age-old joke is process over results, because when you stick with that, you end up more on the side of good things happening for your team. Because as we know, the results do not always match the process. But to me, this week the process is Jaden Reed's on the bench. He might hit one home run play, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I'm sad, Jaden Reed." Just you got to be comfortable in what could happen. Don't go back and forth. Make your decision and feel good about it. And that right now would be Jaden Reed is on my bench, and I'm gonna. It's disgusting. Imagine playing Adonai Mitchell in a week that you got to win to get in. Disgusting. That's what fantasy football is sometimes. Let's see here. Felice Leo wants to know PPR flex Godwin or Devin Neal. I think I'm okay going Chris Godwin there. We saw enough of him getting back into the action last week that we got a little bit of weather. It's a reminder of that game, but I would go that direction. We got oh wow. Jared says Dalton Kincaid or Mr. Loveland. I'd play Kincaid. It's the best matchup for fantasy tight ends. And my love for Mr. Loveland is well documented. But if I had them both, I would play Dalton Kincaid. And we'll get out of here on this one. We got Sam says Zay or Sutton. I would play Cortland Sutton. I would just take the matchup. Zay against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do think he's fine. I think that last week's debacle will not repeat. You'll get right back to the floor is safe for Zay Flowers. The ceiling somehow doesn't exist. It's Zay Flowers and his ceiling really not being there on a weekly basis is one of the craziest mysteries to me of fantasy football, just of how good, how shifty he is, how great Lamar Jackson is when healthy. It's weird, but I'm going to take Cortland Sutton against the Vegas Raiders. All right, we went over a good bit. I got to get back in the laboratory, make sure that the rankings are where they are. Good luck, everyone. Godspeed. Remember to keep it beautiful, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully we get some dubs, get in those playoffs. Mwah! Bye-bye.